Golf for me is one of the finest sports in the world. It's the sport where you compete against yourself. It has everything that life has to offer. It has ups, downs, challenges, it has frustration, it has passion, integrity, it requires focus, there is an attitude. I think it is one of the most beautiful sports in the world. It's a beautiful game. There's a gentleman, Mr. Rahman. We know each other. I know him from my previous stay in Bangladesh. We met up recently for some work that he had at our hotel, and then we started talking about golf. You know, and when two golfers start speaking, golf is the only thing they can talk about. So after we were discussing and he asked me, he said, who do you play with? And I was mentioning, you know, I have some groups and I have some friends I play with, and he said he is on the functionary or the leadership of a wonderful golf group. It's called the Tigers, and I requested him that, you know, I wanted to, if I could get, if they had slots available, I would love to be a member, and they invited me on. So I've been a member now with them for about 4 or 5 weeks, and I tell you, they are simply a wonderful bunch of people. They come from very diverse backgrounds, each one of them. Some from the armed forces, some retired, some still serving, some expatriates serving here, some business owners. So it's a very diverse group of people, but one thing, I mean, besides the golf, that keeps them together is, I think, their attitude. And you know, the first day I was there, format is normally we meet in the morning, we tee off, play in different groups, you know, there are 4 balls, and then we all converge together for breakfast. Light banter, you know, catching up with each other, and then you know, people go their own ways. But during that, they very nicely, my first day, introduced me to everybody. Everyone took time to speak to me, you know, since I was new, and I've seen that with other new members also since I've joined. I understand that, you know, though I had joined in a bit too late, I wish I had joined in a bit earlier, but they had the entire group, a lot of them members, recently traveled to Antalya, to Turkey, and His Excellency the Ambassador of Turkey, he played a significant role in helping organize this entire tour. I've seen some videos and pictures of that, you know, in our WhatsApp group, and really a big regret that I came in so late. Otherwise I would have definitely joined this tour and would have loved it. I mean, what fun moments they've spent together, you know. So this is the kind of bonhomie, this is the kind of emotional, mental connect that golf creates between people, you know, who play together. Yes, there is competitiveness. I mean, I wouldn't take that away. Sometimes that competitiveness also, like life, gets on the ugly side. You know, you do tend to have a tiff with each other. Things don't always work out. But at the end of it, it all comes together as wonderful friends with a great attitude. I think they say golf is a game with a club which has a ball at one end and an attitude on the other. So that's why people make such great friends on the golf course. My most memorable experience that I would remember is the first time that I played at KGC, Kurmitola Golf Club. I think on that day, on the back nine alone, I must have lost about 8 balls. On the various water bodies and OBs, etc. I still can't forget that experience. A lot of, you know, there is a lot of emotion attached to it. When that happens, You feel sad, you feel angry, you feel frustrated. Everything happens, but at the end of it, it all turns out to be a great laugh. You know, but yes, I do remember that. And funnily enough, after that, for at least a significant year or two that I was playing, I still remember, that was way back in 2016, when I just about started, maybe 4 or 5 months at the driving range and then on the course. But at least for the first 1 or 2 years when I was playing, I always remember I used to go in on the course telling myself that I'm not going to lose a ball. So I wasn't going in to play and saying that I have to, you know, get a par today, or I have to get X number of pars, or I need to get a birdie, or let me hit for a hole-in-one, which hasn't happened to me as yet, or you know, get a nice, a good decent score. That you know, for the first initial couple of years, that was never my motivation or target. My target was not to get loose balls and get them into the water. Honestly, never went in with that motivation to say that I have to do business on the golf course. I think playing golf is the only business I do on the golf course. That takes away enough and more of my mental and physical capacity. Quite honestly, I had no intention after passing out of school. I had no intention of going into hotel school. It is something that just happened over a discussion with friends, and I found myself at the Institute of Hotel Management, the IHM Pusa. Post that, it's become a part of my DNA. I think hospitality is something that runs now with every, you know, people have red blood cells, white blood cells. I also have hospitality blood cells that run in my veins. So it really has become also a part of my DNA, and I love this profession. I'll be very honest, I never came into it with any particular intention or any particular age-old, you know, aspiration to be a hotelier as a young person. But once I got into it, I've always aspired to be a good innkeeper, a good hotelier, and to be able to contribute to hospitality, to be able to create good value for all our stakeholders, whether it be our colleagues, whether it be our investors, owners, our guests specifically, to create win-win situations and value and market-leading returns for what we do. And that has been really very, very important to me, and now has just become of what I am. I think there were two areas which had interested me at the beginning of my journey from school. One was the police services, because that's where my father had served. He was an IPS officer, and also my father and my paternal uncle, his younger brother, they were both senior IPS officers. So coming from that family, obviously there was some sort of a bent towards that, but the rebel in me won, not the good son, and the rebel said that I have to do exactly what I'm not supposed to do, so I ended up becoming a hotelier, and I'm so glad I am. You know, if today you ask me, who are you or what are you, it's very easy for me to describe myself in a single word: I'm an innkeeper. And I'm so glad that I am one. So these are you know, my 5 principles of of innkeeping that I would want to share with young aspirants and who want to be hoteliers. And they start with, you know, it's all about knowing how to learn, how to connect, how to make those connections, how to serve, because hospitality is all about service, how to survive, because end of the day, the biggest challenge that we have every day is our survival. That never goes away. The last one is how to beat the odds. So it's not that every time the odds would be in your favor, so you have to know how to beat them. So these 5 principles of innkeeping is what I have imbibed in from my professional learnings, from my professional experiences, very interestingly enough, now let me convert this into a young aspiring golfer. So the first thing that he would have to know is how to learn how to play golf. To get the basics right on the driving range. With a proper pro or a coach. How to connect, because golfing is not about a silo game that you just come in, play and go away. You have to connect with your fellow players. You have to spend those 4.5, 5 hours with them on an 18-hole course. So there has to be a connection that has to be made. It's how to serve, which is again, you look at it in terms of the fact that golfers have a lot of attitude, a lot of integrity, and a lot of personal high standards that they have to maintain. Because end of the day, no one's watching you when you're playing. So you go into the woods and one little kick, change your lie. Golfers don't do things like that, or they shouldn't do things like that. I mean, if they've taken 6 strokes on a hole, they would say they've taken 6 strokes on a hole. So these are the kind of things, that attitude, which is important. How to survive. Of course, to survive those 18 holes without getting totally frustrated and landing yourself in the water along with your balls, and how to beat the odds. You're always playing against different weather conditions, different courses, different turfs, different challenges. So it can all be linked together from a career or a professional career in hospitality to a game like golf, and that's what makes it so interesting. Golf tourism has immense possibilities and opportunities in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has an amazing number of players. I mean, you can see that on the courses once you're out, either on weekdays or weekends. There is a huge interest amongst people in golf. It's a phenomenal sport, and I think people here in Bangladesh have adopted or adapted to that sport itself very well. And that's what opens the possibilities of tourism or golf tourism in any country. The first thing you have to have is a sufficiently large number of golf tourists. I just mentioned about the Tigers as a group. They were in Turkey. It was a getaway tour, but at the same time a golf tour. So both inbound and outbound potential exists. Even domestic tourism potential exists. So if there are, as with the new tourism zone that has been planned by as part of the infrastructure for tourism by the government towards the Teknaf area. I do understand that there are 2 courses coming in there, 18-hole each, and these will be very professionally designed courses. So it just creates that opportunity of people traveling to play golf and enjoy the bountiful nature that the area also provides. At the same time, I also understand that there are more courses coming in and around Dhaka. So this put together, and I firmly believe that we should adopt one or two very niche markets for golf. This could be somewhere in the neighborhood, let's say like in India. This could be somewhere a little further away, perhaps in Turkey, which has some wonderful golf courses, or it could be somewhere in Europe. I recently came across friends who are promoting golf from Wales. Apparently, I'm told that they have 17 or 18 links courses in Wales itself, and over about 200 courses in total. Now, a memorandum of understanding or a sort of twining between the two cities, let's say, or the two countries, let's say Bangladesh and Wales, for promoting golf tourism to each other. I think this could be a great opportunity. It could create for someone to travel to the UK, play there with the focus of playing in Wales. Similarly, coming here, with the focus of coming to Bangladesh, coming to Dhaka. There are 3 courses, beautiful courses here. There is a lovely course in Chittagong. So coming here and playing, meanwhile also imbibing as a tourist the cultural heritage and the richness of the destination. We have wonderful cuisines, we have wonderful areas for people, natural habitat for people to travel to. We have great historical places that one can visit, and then also see the upcoming infrastructure, like the Podda Bridge, which is world-class infrastructure being built. So one can come in here, take all of this, soak it all in, enjoy it whilst playing golf. So I think the opportunity of golf tourism is immense. We have to perhaps, look at some of our pros, and we have some wonderful professional players who have played on the PGA tours. Look at maybe some of the pros, look at some of the corporate houses coming together, bringing in some travel companies, and saying that a concentrated effort is required to spread the word that we have a wonderful destination and we have some excellent golf courses. So, and a lot of it is still unexplored by the foreign tourists. So come in here and we would make that happen for you. Great opportunity.